Dear students, today's class we are going to discuss about some important terms in cost accounting. The important term includes a first one, cost center. A cost center are typical business units that incur cost but only indirectly contribute to revenue generation. It can be defined as a location, a person or item of equipment or group of this for which cost may be ascertained and used for the purpose of cost control. Actually, cost center may be a defined area or a machine or a person to whom directly or indirectly the costs are allocated. They are also known as cost pool and expense center. It is a department within a company that does not produce directly profit and adds to the cost of running a company. The manager and employers of a cost center are responsible for its cost but not responsible for revenues or investment decision. See for an example, human resource department, marketing department, research and development department, work office or a quality assurance department, legal department or customer service center. These are all some examples of cost center because all these departments are supporting to the management but they are not directly generating the revenues. But it may cost. If suppose we have a human resource department means we should pay, we should incur some expenditure to run that particular department. If suppose it is a legal department, we should meet the legal requirements as well as we should meet out the legal expenses. But it directly not helpful to generate revenue or profit. So these type of departments are actually called cost centers. The purpose of cost center is actually the cost center brings responsibility. I already told you cost centers are otherwise known as individual departments. When we divide the total department, then only the responsibilities are defining because each department they can carry out their works depends upon the nature of their department. Suppose take for an example production department. If we have a separate production department, the people those who are involving on that department, they will engage with that production activities. So other department workers need not assume those activities. So here we are centralizing the activities as per the nature as well as dividing the total nature of job as well as the cost and revenues of the particular department. So the purpose of cost center is to bring responsibility. As such, it is also called responsibility center. In other words, for controlling cost of a center, the manager of a cost center is responsible for the purpose. Second one, the cost center helps to recover the overhead expenses. Actually, the overhead are recovered on the predetermined rate. Rate is predetermined on the basis of the nature of completion of work or the process followed. These are all the purpose why we have a separate cost center. The cost centers can be classified into 6 type of centers. One is personal cost center, service cost center, production cost center, operation cost center and process cost center, impersonal cost center. They are first one, impersonal cost center. Impersonal cost center are the center which consists of a location or item of equipment. A cost center relating to a location may represent a region of sales, a warehouse or storeroom. Cost center relating to an equipment or item which could be a machine or group of machines. Next one is called personal cost center. Actually, personal cost center is a cost center which consisting of a person or a group of persons. It follows the organizational structure of a factory. Under this type of cost center, costs are analyzed and accumulated according to person. Say for an example, works manager, sales manager, storekeeper, depends upon the nature of their designation, their nature of work, as well as the cost incurred also differing. So each person is responsible to provide and calculate that particular cost. Next one is called operation cost center. Operation cost center is a center which consisting of machines and or persons carrying out similar operations. So the production or operation may have both a machine or a man. They both do or carry out the work for undertake the operations. So to calculate the cost of both men as well as machine to complete that operation is the major nature of the operation cost center. Next, process cost center. Process cost center is a center which consisting of both men and machines or any one of these carrying out a specific process or a continuous sequence of operation. A center is consisting of those engaged on a specific process of manufacturing a product is known as process cost center. Next, production cost center. It is a center one where actual production process is carried out. In a manufacturing concern, a cost center refers to a machine shop, welding, grinding, polishing, painting, assembly, and like etc. So such cost center is a production cost center because all these different works are involving in the production process, and these different operations are cost differently. So this all constitutes the cost of that particular production. So production center is a center where actual process is carried out, and the center is responsible to calculate the cost for that particular production process. Next one is called service cost center. In a manufacturing concern, some centers like stores, power, transport, personnel department, they are rendering services to the production cost center. Such a center is a service cost center. Actually, the service cost center is divided into three major categories. They are material service center. So storekeeping department, transportation, they are all coming under material service center. Personal service center. So labor office, canteen, they are all coming under personal service center. Then a plant maintenance service center. So tool room, carpentry, they are all coming under plant maintenance center. So a service cost center is one which provides services to other cost centers. Only non-manufacturing costs are charged to service cost center. Next major head is called profit center. A profit center is a business unit or department within organization that generate revenues and profits or losses. Management closely monitors the result of a profit center since these entities are the key drivers of a total result of the parent entity. A profit center is a division or department of a company which operates for the calculation of a profit. In an organization, different profit centers are managed by the managers who identifies profits on the basis of cost and revenue. Profit center is accountable for all the actions associated with the sale of goods and production. Next, the differences between cost center and profit center. The meaning for the cost center is it is a department of the company which direct and indirect costs are charged, but profit center is a department of an entity which recognizes profit. So cost center is responsible for the items which oriented towards cost, but profit center is responsible for the items which are related to the generation of revenue. Next, objective. The objective of cost center is cost control and cost reduction. but the objective of profit center is to ascertain the profit and profit maximization. So how to evaluate the performance of these cost centers means by deducting actual cost from the standard cost, we can evaluate the performance of cost center. On the other hand, if we deduct the actual cost from budgeted cost, we can evaluate the performance of the profit center. The fourth one, area of operation. The cost center operations are very narrow because we limit the operational cost of one particular department, but profit center is associated with whole management activities with all other departments. So the area of operation is wide. The role played by the cost center is very less challenging because it is limited with cost activities, just ascertainment of cost and cost reduction. But profit center is playing a very challenging role because it has to generate a revenue as well as it should have an eye on controlling the expenses. Next, the responsibilities carried out by the cost center is to ascertain cost alone, but the profit center responsible for both revenue generation as well as control the expenses. The purpose of cost center is for the purpose of accounting convenience. The profit center purpose is decentralization to the management. The next one is called autonomy. Autonomy in the sense the freedom to take its own decision or to manage to control its own affairs. The cost center is not autonomous because it is associated with all other departments, so it cannot take its own decision because it is controlled by the top management, so it cannot enjoy the autonomy status. But profit center, here we are operating a particular department wise, so they can take their own decision. They can take decisions according to their own objective as well as their operation, so they can enjoy the autonomy status. They are responsible for their efficient operation. So each department they are responsible to generate their own profit, so they can enjoy autonomy. Target, normally cost centers do not have any specific target, but profit centers they need to generate revenue, so they are having profit target. Number of centers, usually we have in an organization they can have many cost centers, but in an organization there is a possibility to have only very few profit centers. So these are all the differences between cost center and profit center.